have another high-profile feature match coming your way. A player on your left that you may recognize, someone who's very good to the community, a great player in his own regard. We have Dan.
Time to appear.
A little bit of Amber and Emerald. Wow, who we got on the right there, Rebecca?
This is Nathan Gonzales, and he is playing that deck that we have seen quite a lot of. It is Amethyst Sapphire, that Blurple deck with that 40% representation here on Day 2.
Ja, bei 40% Representation in Day 2 sind wir natürlich immer gegen jeden Blurple-Player, damit wir am Ende nicht so viel Mirror watchen müssen.
The board and I see a color that is Amber and I see another color that is Emerald, I'm a little bit terrified if I'm holding a Sapphire and Amethyst card in my deck.
Yeah, I think when you look at this matchup, if you are an Amethyst Sapphire player, the deck that you don't want to see is Amber Emerald. And if you are an Amber Emerald player, you're like, I want to see that. I will face Blurple all day.
Send it my way. But we have seen some really spicy Amber and Emerald strategies being deployed here in this event, and I haven't seen the version that Dan is playing. I know Dan pretty well. I think, like I said, he is a content creator, but he's also a phenomenal player, and I did speak to him last season.
Da darf man ja gespannt sein. Diese geile Circle of Life Liste, ich weiß es nicht so genau.
I think the time is here. The time is now for Mr. Arnold, and we're going to get that go down to the inkwell.
Yes, the time is now.
Pluto, okay.
And we are going
Kommt
to
jetzt.
start off here.
Wenn nicht jetzt, wann dann?
Play with a daisy.
Literally.
I like starting off with turn 1 daisy. I don't hate
On the play, wirst du Pluto nicht ausspielen?
With that, and a bit of a power play too coming in from Dan as you show
Nathan nix.
to really strike fear and panic to your Sapphire Amethyst player counterpart. As Nathan does wince a little bit because you don't want to see it, as that daisy duck is a very oppressive turn 1 start. Checking the hand, look like you got that Lilo. Maybe you can get that down on 2. Keep that curve train running, but you're just trying. It looks like Dan is playing the dog. What do you like about that dog deck?
I love dogs. I think it's great. We saw it in action in Bologna.
Wenn der Gegner sich dann mit Daisy 8 Blau macht, hat Nathan sich dafür so 3 Karten reingezogen.
Yeah, dogs was going great all day. I think
crazy.
it's a really great choice in this meta, especially when you know how prevalent Sapphire Amethyst is. And I have a question for you, which is, if you are Nathan, if you know you're facing a super aggro deck like this, because this deck, Sapphire Amethyst, it can get behind, and your opponent can run away so quickly. So what is Nathan's strategy in this matchup?
I think Nathan is trying to
Da ich die Lilo sehe, sieht es für mich eher nach so einem Chromicon-Bild aus.
What I mean by that is this dog deck is going to get very wide very quickly. There's going to be a lot of characters on board, so you need to establish some bodies very quickly and doing no ramp.
No turn 1, no turn 2. JDZ is over here in shock.
I am in shambles because looking at Nathan, I feel so bad.
Daniel denkt sich, oh no, das hätte ich eigentlich besser gebrauchen können, wenn ich on the draw bin. On the play war es gar nicht so
If
richtig.
you're going to win, you got to have bodies on board, and you got to put another ink in your wink, and this is it.
Wow, look at this. Daisy, Lilo, Pluto, Cursed Merfolk. My goodness, we're getting a
hätte natürlich auch Pluto machen können, into Pluto, Lilo, ne, und dann wäre sein Hand ja schon noch schneller leer gewesen.
Pluto has that wonderful ability where you can exert him to pay 1 less for the next character. We also know that the dog deck
Plutos sind echt umso besser, je früher man legt.
But Nathan missing, I think, I've talked to players. Oh no.
Natürlich, Turn 3 kann er ja fast gar nichts machen.
Rebecca,
tell me it's not true.
Rebecca, so the game plan is ink, pass, ink, pass, ink, pass.
That is not a good game plan.
If that's your line, Rebecca, you can't win. Okay, I don't care what you're playing against. I don't care what's happening.
2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, wow.
Basil,
kannst du nicht von zurückkommen, glaube ich.
Boy, you know, missing turn 1 on that deck is bad, but missing your turn 2, and I've
Ende willst du machen.
Players who say I can miss turn 1
and go, tot. Okay.
Nathan's saying no way, I can't miss 3
das ging ja schnell.
And come back from this like wide array of characters that you have.
Nee, das boah.
And that's one thing we got to point out that Nathan really didn't do anything.
Unser Held Daniel Arnold, er verhindert, dass wir Zongo Blurple sehen müssen. In Record Time hat er es defeated. Voll gut.
Come on, Nathan. Let's shuffle this deck because you are missing ramp again.
You didn't see anything? I didn't catch what was in his deck.
We sent 7. Rebecca got back 7. That's 14. And you didn't get another ramp card again.
What a logic.
And you could just tell by his face, like, this cannot be happening to me. Live at the Disney Lorcana Challenge, you gotta be careful.
Ja, echt, nicht ausgerechnet on cam.
Help me out, deck. Give me a favor, as you're gonna be on the play. You do get another draw phase, so you will be able to look for it. But it looks like you sent 7. You sent 7 again. Wow. You don't have a TPO, no sale. That is brutality incarnate. Dan's got to be loving this.
That I'm sure. I'm sure. But man, that's got to feel bad. And I know in these decks there's multiple ways that you can ramp, and to not find anything is just. There's that fist bump there to start us off. I could see Magic Feather. That's a fun one. The Magic Feather will not help us, but it's going into the Inkwell and a Rafiki. We do have a turn 1 play, so that's okay, but the ramp, that's what we need.
Send all your
look at that,
your
2 Monstros. We have 2 Monstros. I think I saw Bell Accomplished Mystic in there as he's shuffling around.
There's a
Magic Feather.
Kommt jetzt echt schon wieder kein Ramp gleich.
Please, everyone in the chat, if you're watching at home, please send Nathan your energy.
Unendlich F.
Sell the Azurite Sea or a Tipo Going Sun off the top of the deck. The hand is still not really doing too terribly much, even if you do get the ramp. But
da alle senden natürlich actually unsere so Anti-Energy.
It's going to be really, really, really difficult to get back as we go again.
Die Negative Energy.
We'll
damit wir nicht noch mehr Blöcke sehen müssen.
Rippt.
Ist das... Er hat nichts. Wow. Ne, er hat nicht noch ein Monster gezogen. Er hat, glaube ich, vorher schon die beiden. Er hat so Basil from the top gezogen.
So at least you could put another body on the board. And it's like, okay, sure, why not? Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, that is devastating.
Da ist allerdings Daisy schon nicht mehr geeignet, um zu erkunden. Fast schon stark genug, das Board von Nathan.
Absolutely abysmal as Dan is still locked in, showing no reaction. Still,
no remorse.
Finish the drill because no matter
no retreat, no surrender.
You just have to play your best possible game, and you can't really. Sometimes they're going to get it, sometimes they're not going to get it. That shouldn't affect you at all. So Dan's not having any type of reaction. I like that professionalism, just showing like, hey, you got to play it all the way through. No free games. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, you never know what's going to happen, right? Something wild could still happen. Dan wants to play this like, you know, he's playing for top 32. Both of these players are, right? So you have to play every play like you're going for that top 32 spot, getting that NA invite, and making your way to a Golden Mickey and hopefully that champion title.
And also, just making a name for yourself, too. I know Dan has a storied history of playing trading card games for a long time, multitude of different games, having great success all across the world, playing different things. But he
Vielleicht auch Magic gespielt?
He drew Hades off the top. I was trying to see what he drew. Oh my goodness. And having to pass here, Nathan has just, I saw he just made, you know, a heavy sigh. Big feels bad here. I cannot imagine what must be going through his mind right now. And this deck is something that it's one of the reasons why players love playing this Sapphire Amethyst deck is because of how consistent it is. And there's so much variance, though, in the game. And sometimes
es müsste mal so eine Shotclock geben. So, wenn du mit 3 Turns hintereinander nicht questest, dann so all deine Charakter kriegen Reckless für eine Runde. Oder was auch immer. Anti-Reckless. Aber das ist halt irgendwas, man machen muss, finally.
You know, chance of that not happening, and it happens to you 2 times back to back. You have to really go buy a lottery ticket or something after this, because that is just very unfortunate. But again, showing a smile, not giving up. There is stuff that you possibly can do to get back into this thing.
Ist ja nichts los, er geht nach 0 Lore.
The board ever so slight. That's what this deck is trying to do. Get a super wide board, get that tramp down, singing under the sea, or just quest heavily as we bring the Lilo back.
Yeah, he's thinking there whether he wanted to or not, and he did. Last turn he played down that tramp, the Enterprising Dog, which is not always one of the tramps that we see in a dog deck. Really fun. If you have a character named Lady, you pay 1 less, and when you play, you give extra strength. One of your chosen characters gets +1 for that turn.
And we are going to go for that Pluto. I love that tramp.
Hey, and there's
Pluto makes the tramp even less to bring down.
Yes, tramp, that street smart dog. He will get to draw 1 card for
ja, nur mit Pluto reduziert so alleine den Tramp schon für 2, wenn du ihn aktivierst.
Really being able to filter there through his deck, find the cards that he wants to keep in hand, and I mean,
ach so, was ist das denn? Er verlumpt sein Wusels? Okay, interessant.
Right
you gotta be feeling elated. You gotta be feeling on cloud 9. But you don't want to show that to your opponent because you don't want to be like, but he's got to be feeling really good in this position. Just knowing your opponent is kind of, his position is starting to falter a bit. He had a very struggling start there.
Naja, der Opponent räumt gleich erstmal deinen Pluto ab und deine Lilo. Und dann zieht er noch eine. Und dann spielt er noch was aus. Und dann weiß er nicht, wie super das dann ist für dich. Was hat er denn noch so? Vielleicht sieht er auch doch keine. Vielleicht macht er auch so The Fifth Spirit und klärt irgendwie noch mehr. Er hat diese schisselige Feder allerdings. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich die nicht längst geinkt hätte.
I think you would need to get to Elsa the Fifth Spirit, into a Bell. And that's a crazy Heffalumps and
taking
Woozles
away
there.
that Basil, one of the reasons why people put that in there is for the support, which of course is a keyword.
Ja, okay, aber kann einfach Pluto überfahren.
Add their strength to one of your other characters, but with that Heffalumps and Woozles preventing him. What was it? I missed it, JD.
I'm sorry, Rebecca.
Yeah, Nathan missed it too.
Well. So the hits just keep on coming.
Daisy. Not Nathan's
cool
perfect
mistress.
date.
No.
Ich glaube, da hat er Into the Unknown gezogen.
Perfect date, but not done. Not Nathan.
Du kannst erstmal 3 Lorbeer wegnehmen.
I
Oder 4 sogar. Aber 3 ist, glaube ich, besser, wenn man dann die Lilo liegen lassen kann. Die kommt ja sonst eh wieder. Was wäre denn jetzt mit Basil auf Pluto? Und dann kann man auf jeden Fall noch Tramp überfahren und Bobby Zimruski mit seinen beiden anderen Charakteren.
Into the Unknown is there. Yep, we're going into the Pluto. Of course, that will leave Basil unaffected because Pluto has 0 strength.
Würde ich jetzt auch noch machen. For sure Tramp überfahren, genau.
Enterprising Dog. Doing a little
Wahrscheinlich auch noch Bobby Zimruski.
Do we sing Dumbo? No, we're gonna.
Nee, er macht lieber auf Lilo, okay. Kann man auch machen, finde ich nicht viel schlechter. Into the Unknown vielleicht schon noch auf die Daisy jetzt.
I was gonna say, you'll take care of Daisy, so yeah, take care of that too, Lore.
Finally die Feder in die Tinte.
Another magic feather down to the England. So that was actually a pretty nice turn, Rebecca.
I feel like Nathan did what he could do. That was like the best he could do there.
Oh no.
Maybe even out the tables a little bit in his favor, but he still has a long uphill battle to climb here.
And I think going into that 6th ink turn, had you be going into your 7th ink turn now, I think you'd be a bit more comfortable in this spot, but you do have one more turn that you have to survive. So maybe this could be the turn that you could do some Dumbo stuff, but I think you're going to have to keep these characters engaged if they elect to exert again. But maybe Dan might enter into stand-up mode and just hope that that is going to be good enough to just expand a little bit more and just keep the board wide and just let him recover for one more turn instead of going for more challenges.
Yeah, I think one thing that is in Nathan's favor right now, at least, is the fact that Dan.
Die Sache ist die, wenn Daniel nicht anfängt, mehr auszuforcen, dann ist irgendwann Dumbo und mehr zu erkunden, dann ist irgendwann Dumbo nicht mehr dazu genötigt, sehr herauszufordern und stattdessen kann Dumbo dann Kartenvorteil generieren. Ist nicht so toll. Und jetzt gerade würde natürlich vielleicht Dumbo nochmal die Lilo überfahren, anstatt dafür irgendwie seinen Rafiki oder Basil zu traden. Andererseits Rafiki könnte man jetzt relativ gut einfach vernichten mit Bobby Zimruski. Noch besser vielleicht mit Lady. Mit Lady und dann kann man noch mit Bobby in den Basil traden oder man könnte auch mit Tramp den Basil überfahren. Auch alles eine Possibility. Ist jetzt gerade gar nicht so schlecht. Diese Miss Park Avenue ist auch nice. A great body, yeah. Enjoy.
But when you play her, you can bring back 2 characters from your discard that are cost 2 or less, and so yeah, but a fantastic card. And she's beautiful. This was actually, I don't know if you remember this, JD, but she was the very first art that was revealed that kind of hinted at dual inks coming in Disney Lorcana, and everyone was like freaking out about it. I know I was. I was like, it's coming.
I remember that very vividly. She sent the community into a spiral when they revealed her, and I remember that moment. It was a super cool time in Disney Lorcana, as we are going to actually take the opportunity. I love that play coming in from Dan.
Ist auch ein süßer Film, Lady and Tramp.
Let's go ahead and fight back and just clear down your board, and now you have all the momentum, all the energy, all the willpower. You have this very problematic Lilo that just keeps returning, but you have that Monstro, so if you can get to that 7 ink, like we said, this turn is going to be another slow one, but if you can get to that, if you can get to that 7 ink, you're going to 6 right now, you got to do something cool. All that ink should be ready. You haven't done anything.
Okay, I think he has a bell in hand. No. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Wäre cool, wenn er eine Bell auf der Hand hätte.
What happened there?
He paid 5 ink for the Finders Keepers.
He played Finders Keepers.
Yes,
I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Yes, he played Finders Keepers, and so he didn't have any ink left to do. But he got some good stuff. He got the Monstro. He still has the Hades in hand. He picked up a bell, and so if that Dumbo stays alive, which he will because he's
er hat echt eine Bell 5
won't really have anything, he'll be able to bring Bell next time and move that damage onto one of Dan's characters, maybe take care of something here.
Ja, ist die Frage auf wen. Gerade alle anderen Charakter überleben die Bell.
But it is semi-salvageable as you did kind of drag this thing into 7 ink, so you can go Hades next turn, take some more off.
Street smart dog.
The hits just keep on coming. But you're looking at this Monstro, the monstrous well, and he's just spooling up in your hand. If you get to 8 ink, maybe you might have enough cards left to be able to use this Monstro's ability.
Vielleicht.
However, that Dumbo's not going to be able to draw and play Monstro in the same turn on curve.
Könnt ihr mal so ein bisschen dippen jetzt gleich. Es gibt nicht unbedingt so viel sinnige Sachen, die man mit dem Dumbo machen könnte. Man könnte theoretisch einfach... Ich meine, es ist zwar schade, die 2 Schäden auf die Lilo zu verschieben, aber die 2 Schäden irgendwie auf jemand anderen zu verschieben, bringt es halt jetzt gerade auch nicht.
The ability to move, so you can clear that Lilo again, but that annoying Lilo is going to continue to return, and every time you Hades a card, you're going to free up more ink to make that Lilo decision a little bit easier for Dan.
Ja, außer du Hades halt die Lilo einfach. Okay. Und jetzt wirst du ja wohl vielleicht schon echt erstmal eine ziehen mit Dumbo, oder?
Yeah, tough choice here. Nathan really thinking, what is going to be...
Das ist halt die Frage. Die Karte zu ziehen bringt jetzt auch nicht so super viel. Aber dann wiederum, das Einzige, was man hier clearen kann, ist Lilo. Ja, vielleicht ist es besser, in Wirklichkeit 2 Schaden zu verschieben auf einen Tramp. Weil dann kann man wenigstens threatenen, den mit seiner Bell dann zu überfahren in der nächsten Runde. Und dann kann man diese Runde Dumbo benutzen, um damit Lilo zu überfahren. Weil die Karte zu ziehen für 1 ist, glaube ich, weniger produktiv, als die 2 Schäden noch zu machen auf den Tramp. Nathan hat eh ordentlich Handkarten. Oh, er tradet einfach. Hatte er keine Bell? Hades the Lady ist nicht jetzt. Es waren ja 2. Warum haben sie es nicht dann auch so gesagt? Hades the Ladies, yeah. Ach so, okay. Er hatte Angst vor Gogo Tomago, aber gut. Er hatte einfach keine Bell, ne? Das ist die Sache. Was hat er denn aber dann da? Es ist doch wohl Bell in Wirklichkeit.
Sure, let's put down some
Klar.
more characters at Quest for 2. Why not?
In die Breite gegangen.
Quest. That is how we win here in Disney Lorcana. Going up to 15. Nathan.
Monstro can do
Monstro
it. Monstro can help.
Monstro could come down and do some work here. Let's see what we can do. We have Hades going into Lilo. Taking that 1 damage. Monstro. There he is.
Ah, Monstro kommt tatsächlich.
What, 1 or 2
Zerbröselt alles.
Oh, he has 3 cards in hand. Okay.
So there's the bell. We're ready.
Das heißt, es ist noch nicht lethal.
Into the tramp.
Come on, Monstro, one more time.
Yeah.
Are these cards more, is it more valuable to me to get rid of this Daisy Duck with Monstro? Is it more valuable for me to keep these cards in hand?
I mean, Gogo is probably going to be the end of you anyway, so you might have to just go for it.
Oh, die Elsa hätte ich vielleicht nicht discardet. Die hätte man noch gut nutzen können nächste Runde, um den Charakter zu erschöpfen, den Daniel noch nachlegen wird.
Get the damage off in time with Bell. You're going to continue to bring that Lilo back, adding that.
Is it a go-go off the top? That's the question
every
here.
time. It's never not go-go in this situation.
Oh my gosh, it was! It was go-go off the top for the win here for Dan.
Auch noch echt einfach für 5.